is up, YouTube family? Thank you guys for tuning back in to Wilburn Reactions. My name is Chod. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Hit that thumbs up if you like this video. Also, notification buttons on at all times. I do release videos throughout the day. Today, we are headed back into Bob Dylan. The song we are going into is Hurricane. I want to give a heads up again for all of my people who like to send in the Bob Dylan requests. Sometimes you guys might see me change up the video just because some content I have to stay away from because of copyright issues. So if you do see a link you maybe sent me and said, hey, this is the reaction, and see something different, that is why it is changed, because of that. But I do still like to try to cover the song if I possibly can. And if it doesn't come down to where I can, I had to do this a few times. I do still, anything that is blocked, I send it right over to my Patreon's account, and you guys can watch it over there free. It costs you. Do not have to be a paid member or anything like that. You could just go over there. All those videos are unblocked. So just wanted to give that heads up for that. Also, to my new subscribers, thank you so much for coming over, supporting me, and adding another subscriber to this beautiful family. So welcome to the family. Also want to let you guys know you're making me get one step closer to reaching my goal this year, trying to reach 100,000 subscribers for this channel. So thank you guys dearly. Also, while the music is playing, I do wait to the very end to give you my honest, detailed breakdown of the full song. So wait for that. Let's dive in and see what else Bob Dylan brings to the table.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the floor above. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, they've killed my love. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Three bodies lying there, does Patty see? And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do it, he says, he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw him leave and he says, and he stops. One of us had better hurry and call the cops. And so Betty calls the cops. And they arrive on the scene with the red lights flashing in the hot New Jersey night. Part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around. Number one contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. You're black, you might as well not show up on the streets unless you want to draw the heat. Cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. Saw two men running out there, looked like middleweights. They jumped into a white car without a state plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cops said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him he could identify the guilty man. Bring him to the hospital and take him upstairs. The wounded man looks up to his one dying eye. He say, why'd you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy. Here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 4 months later, the ghetto's on flame. Rubens in South America fighting for his name. Well, Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for someone to blame. Remember you murder that you saw in a bar. Remember you said you saw the getaway car. Thinking like the playboy with the law. Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night. Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. Cop said a poor boy like you could use a break. We got you for the motel job and you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail, be a nice fellow. You'll be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman, Jim. Take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he said, and I do it for pay. And when it's over, just as soon on my way up to some paradise where the top streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jail. Oh, where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. Cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Rubens witnesses, drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary thumb. And to the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he'd pull the trigger. And no, they could not produce the gun. The DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the old white jury agreed. Falsely tried. The crime was murder one. Guess who testified? Bello and Bradley, and they both baldly lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed. You live in a land where justice is a game. I'm free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. That's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. But in our prison cell, there was time he could have been the champion of the world.
The man, I can't stress enough. The man is a lyrical genius, and I know the focal point on this song, when this suggestion was sent over, is he used the N-word, and a lot of people asked, probably wondered how the reaction goes to that. I have a story, and it's outside of Bob Dylan. When I was in high school, I took journalism. I like writing, so I took journalism 3 out of 4 years out of my high school life. And my journalism teacher, we got into a lot of different stuff of journalism topics and stuff like that. And where I grew up at in high school was kind of the suburban area of Bakersfield. I grew up in a nice area. And in that class, I was the only black guy in there, the only black student at that time in that period. And I remember my teacher, it was like the first week, Mr. Perone was his name, excellent guy. And I remember my first week in his class, he pulled me outside and he was like, hey, I'm going to show a video. I can't remember what video he was going to show. And then he asked me, he's like, after that, I'm going to have a group discussion. He's like, I'm going to need you because you're my only, black student. I'm not, he's like, I don't want to apply any pressure on you, but a topic, he said, I'm going to use the N-word. And I thought to myself, like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to use it, but I wanted to make sure you're not going to get offended. I'm not going to use it in a bad term. I'm just going to open up a group discussion about it. And I go, yeah, that's fine. I've never been one to really be like, I'm going to fight you over it if you use it. I'm not that type of guy. Words shouldn't even get to your skin that much, no matter how bad they might be. But I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, he's like, okay. So he's like, but I'm not going to warn other students. I want to see their reaction when I say it. He's like, I want to see what they're going to do. That's the whole point of this test. All right. So the next day comes, we do it. And he says it, and everybody immediately eyes on me. Like, what is he going to do? What is he going to react? How are you going to react? So he calls on me. He's like, Chod, how do you feel? And I broke down. I don't remember what I said. And the students was like, what the heck? Like, we thought you were going to, like, everybody's opinion was like, we thought you were going to get up there and fight him and do this and that. And I'm like, no. But when he said it, I feel like in this context, and I'm not trying to take away from the song, but that's a key part. And I feel like in this context, you're going to have people on two sides of the fences. And I think in the black community, African-American community, you'll have those people like, he shouldn't have used it at all. And probably when this song was made, it's a sensitive song. It's a sensitive word. It's still a sensitive word till this today. And you'll have people that say, I understand why he used it and what he used it in the context he used it in. Which I see both sides. But then I see, more or less, I'm on the side of, I see the context he used it in. I don't see a problem. But I understand that maybe people that might say like, oh, I don't think he should have said it. Understanding both sides of the fence. Poet. I think in poetry and anything in life, especially in deep contexts like this, you say, maybe you have to say something that can make some people uncomfortable. That's the way I see it. It's not the fact that it's disrespectful. I think certain things you do in life or you may say may be uncomfortable to others, and then it becomes a disrespectful term the way it is used. And it's a lot you can say about that word. We could go into full, I don't want to go into full form about it. I just want to give my opinion on it. I feel like it's okay. Once again, in this song, we're going into Bob Dylan and his lyrics, how he delivers. The man is a lyrical genius. Once again, I'm keep saying it over and over again. This story that he's telling, how he unfolds it, how he breaks it down. There's no other person I've heard do it. And no matter what you say, I've never heard anybody, you can throw as many people in front of me. Like I said, I'm a hip hop head. I've been around a lot of music when it comes to the hip hop world. And the way he delivers his lyrics is like no other. Like I said, I put him on a pedestal saying he's one of the greatest to do it. And as he unfolds and tells his story, man, I'm just like, gosh, there's nothing this man can't do. There's nothing he can't put out. There's no way he can, no shape or form a song can't go in when it comes to Bob Dylan. He could do anything when it comes to music. And I want to give credit to the musicians up there. I know Bob Dylan's the main focal point, but I want to point out the young lady, I don't know who's on it. It wasn't in the title of it, but the lady on the violin, excellent job. I love how she filled in when it came to those parts and those fills. It really brought the song out, brought a lot of emotion behind the song with the violin being played there. Drummer, excellent job. Very high tune, and I get it. Why it was on that. It was tuned like that, and I get this. Probably was on pigskin. Back in the day, they used pigskin a lot on the drum sets, and it's a high tuning sound that I really don't care for, but it fit the song. I get it. The only thing I really didn't care for the bass in this. I think it was too heavy. I think they should have went with a big bass on this sound. I thought it was too heavy with the electric bass. It came in kind of in certain parts. It just kind of like was just out there for me. But other than that, that's the only thing I'm not trying to nitpick, but I just think the big bass would have been perfect for this, especially with the violin. I just think the electric bass was just thumping a little bit too much for this song, especially with the drum set, the way it was tuned and what it was sounding like. But other than that, the story, how it unfolds, man, and it's telling life for stories. I think Bob Dylan, once again, I think because he's a controversial like type of artist who talks about events in life and tells stories about stuff that happen in life, that's what makes him a controversial artist, why people are either on one side of the fence or the other with him. And I applaud him because he wasn't afraid, and he's still not, to talk about, like a recent reaction I did, he was older. So he's not afraid to still talk about what he wants to get off his chest, or even write a song about it, I should say. And I think that's what makes me grow more and more respect for him, because a lot of these artists today are in contracts and are scared to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and they make and maybe sugarcoat a song and change it it's not really putting out what they need to. And with him, it's like a respect. Like, I don't care. This is my song. I'm going to put out what I want to put out and express myself the way I want it to be expressed. And that's where the respect grows more for Bob Dylan. A lot of these artists in today's world are scared to express themselves on that level. They'll stay in this little bubble, and they might hint at it, and they'll come right back and say, no, I'm not going any deeper than that because the contract I'm locked in, or these guys might say this or that. Where Bob Dylan, I'm thinking like, yeah, oh well. I think does he own his own rights? Like, is this all his? That's the one thing I know that plays a big part in the industry. So is Bob Dylan like he owns his own rights of his music, or what is that about him? That definitely will help me free up some stuff about him, because if he owns his own rights now, it makes sense. But excellent song. I love the story again. Bob Dylan doing the best, and I thank you guys for tuning back in. Let me know your opinion on also, him using the N-word. What do you guys feel about this song when you guys first heard it? What was your take on that? How did you feel? I know that's a big thing, but how did you feel about the song and all? But thank you guys for tuning back in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.